So today I got a really fun story for you guys, and that's the day Noah got high. I'm not kidding, this is not clickbait. Just listen. Good morning, Noah. What are you doing? Noah's an early bird. Sun's just coming out, and we're about to get our date started. Will you be embarrassed if I tell everybody when you got high? We just ran out to the store really quick. So there's a bakery across the street from our house, and every morning they make this fresh bread. What's the size of Noah? Noah, you want to take a bite? He's really good. Oh, you're creating. No, use the camera.
I do.
So before we tell you the story, me and Noah, we're gonna get dressed up alike. Look, me and Noah got matching outfits. All right, Noah, are you ready to tell him? So I wanted to include Noah in this part of the video, and he fell asleep while I started filming. All right, so I'm laughing now, but when this actually happened, when we found out Noah got high, we didn't know that he got high, and it was extremely scary for both Karina and I. The day that this happened, I remember Noah was about 2 years old. Now, when he was a puppy, he literally, he ate anything off the floor. So we had to be very careful of what he was eating, where we took him, etc. That day we went to the mall. I took Noah with me. Everything was normal. He ate during the morning, drank water, had his treats. We got back home, and I noticed Noah was a little bit out of it. So I thought he was tired. He wanted to go to sleep. And he really wasn't responsive as he usually is. Doorbell rings, someone comes to the door. Like, nothing was really awakening him. I got concerned, and I thought, see, Yorkies usually go into this state where it's like hypoglycemia. Their blood sugar drops. They're almost like diabetics. And what I remember is you take some honey or some kind of syrup or sugar, anything that's sugary, to put it around their gums. It'll help bring their sugar back up. I did that, didn't work. Immediately I called the vet. Luckily they were 5 minutes away when we lived in New York, and I rushed Noah to the vet. When I got in there and I said, hey, Noah's blood sugar dropped and he's kind of gotten to shock, immediately they stopped what they were doing. Any other patients that were in the room, it obviously, at that point it just didn't matter. They rushed Noah back in, and the first thing they want to do is they want to try to get his blood sugar up. We were waiting in the waiting room. If I find any videos or pictures, I'm going to pop them up on the screen while I'm telling you guys the story. So we sat outside. They told us to go home, let him rest for a little bit while they get him back to normal. An hour goes by. They call us, and they're like, look, you got to take your dog to an emergency hospital, which is in Brooklyn. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, he's not waking up. He's not reacting to what we're giving him, and usually this works. At that point, we hopped back in the car and we raced from Staten Island to Brooklyn. It was raining out. We were trying to rush there, trying to get there safely. Karina was holding Noah in her lap, and he was still like out of it. He was breathing, but he wasn't really responsive. Finally, we get to that doctor. We rush him in. They do a ton of blood work and all sorts of things. The guy finally comes out, and he tells us, the doctor, his blood cells, they did a count on him, everything's good. His eyes, like, they checked everything. We're like, well, what's wrong? And the guy starts smiling. He's like, your dog is high. And Karina and I looked at each other, like, but we don't smoke. He's like, hey, I'm not judging it. I'm like, well, we don't. And he said he must have eaten it off the floor. I'm like, that's impossible. Like, we're watching him. He's like, trust me, we get this all the time. Dogs eat marijuana. They come in here. Just give it some time. Your dog is fine. All his test results are perfectly fine. So that finally like relieved us, coming from the doctor. So we waited a couple of hours. Noah started to wake up. We took him back home. While we were waiting at the doctor's, we went to like a PetSmart or something. We got him a ton of treats because we were making a joke out of it that no one's gonna have the munchies when he gets out of the hospital. Finally, we took him home, and Noah was fine. Thank God. Obviously, he's still right here. But the funny part out of all of this is the next day, he ended up pooping in the house. And when he pooped, it reeked like marijuana. And that at that point, we really believed that he ate it. It sounds crazy, but it smelled like marijuana. We called the doctor. He's like, yeah, that tends to happen, which kind of just confirmed that Noah got high for the first time at the age of 2 years old. It was scary not knowing what happened. If we knew that he accidentally ate marijuana, it would have been a different story because we would know what to tell the doctors. But we were rushing from one hospital to another, really not knowing anything. And that is the story when Noah scared the hell out of us because he decided to get high at the age of like 2 years old. And yeah, that's it. I want to share that with you. It's funny now. It was not funny before because we didn't know. So if your dog did happen to eat a little bit of it, I don't think it's the end of the world. They will get high. I would definitely take him to a vet right away to have someone monitor the dog because you don't know what could happen to your dog. And Noah was so tiny that it concerned us even more because, he's not a big dog. So anyway, that is the Noah got high story. And Noah's still sleeping throughout this whole video because it's still early and he woke up around like 5:30 with me. And that's it. You wake up? You woke up at the end of the video? All right, I'm going to end this video here. Happy Saturday. Hope you guys are enjoying. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like on it. Drop a comment down below. And remember, for every like you give this video, Noah gets more treats because apparently he has the munchies. All right, guys. We'll see you in the next one.